welcome to a new video from me. I got second place at the first OP15 Chinoize Cup with Purple Doflamingo. I lost in the finals to Lucci, but we first gonna look at the leader breakdown, then at my opponents, and then even analyze 1 or 2 games, and of course talking about my own deck list. So why do I pick Dofflamingo? I tested and I really liked it into the new leader and really like the matchup spread of it. And it feels really skill rewarding. And since I have experience with the deck, because I played the last format as well, I wanted to test it in the Chinoize Cup to see if it's a valid pick for the next regional in Lille I gonna attempt. So yeah, the most popular leader of course are Purple, Enel and Lucci, not only because they are the strongest, but they are new and they are pretty fun and interesting to play. The Nami is also one of the best decks, and in my opinion Purple Doflamingo is good against Enel. It's more like a 50-50 good. I need to play against better Enels more to really figure out, okay, what are the options for the Enel player, what are my options as a Doffy player, but we're going to that later. Lucci feel like the 50-50. I'm not good at the matchup, I really need to improve it, so I was also sweating when I saw I had to play against Lucci in the final, to be honest. I hoped there would be a Nami or something, but no. Talking about Nami, Doffy had a really good matchup into Nami. Then Ace is unfavored sadly, but you can't have only good matchups for Dofflamingo. Kagara is, I think that will depend because both decks really benefit from going first, and especially in this matchup because on 5 Don, if you go in second, you want to play either Sugar or Baby 5 on your 4 Don turn, and on 5 Don they can have the Wiper which can destroy your Sugar. And because they are at 5 Don, Sugar won't trigger. Then Bell Luffy is one of the worst matchup for Purple Doflamingo because it has problems against board control decks that can protect their board, and sadly there aren't any good purple removal that isn't KO. I think the only viable option is 9-cost Big Mom, but I don't think it's good because if you put it in live, they get it back anyway. War good matchup, Water should be good, Red Green Luffy is good, OP Luffy is a good matchup, Ace I don't know, Blackbeard I don't know, Rebecca's horrible, GP Luffy is weird, didn't play a lot against it. Doffy really struggles into Rosinante and Decomoria and Crocodile, but it's also what really improves was the matchup against Emu. It's no winning for Dofflamingo. Not by a lot, but it's winning. But yeah, first round was against Blue Yellow Ace. It's not a new leader, but it's kind of feel new because got a lot of support. And my opponent, I won because first I won the dice roll, which was really important in the matchup, and yeah, the other thing was I think he did a misplay with the leader ability, and my aggression was too big, and the ace couldn't really go for life, and yeah, I simply won. I can't remember too much of it because first round. Second round was against Green Servo, which isn't a great matchup in my opinion because similar to the Wiper, you have here the same problem when you're going second with the Sugar. But if you know how the leader ability works, you can do some stuff, and luckily for me, one time he forgot how the interaction between Dofflamingo leader and Servo leader works with the re-attack into life and re-attack into characters. So just to simplify it, if you attack the character with the Servo, I can re-attack into another character, and of course then you can't attack into life again. If you attack into life first, I can redirect into a character and you can then go into life again. If you attack a character and I redirect into life, you can't go for another character. So this are the three rulings I would say you need to know for the matchups. Yeah, I think only a new 2K and the Along. The Along is really strong. I really like it in So Sanji, but it was a good game. Didn't have so much struggle, especially when he misplayed. Then third was Weird Enel. I struggled here a bit because I never saw such an Enelist with the 6-cost Luffy, but I tried to starve him a bit. The Bugum Lightning isn't really good against my deck because when I have Rago. And yeah, I won similar to the way I won in round 5, just a bit more easy because I think this list, I don't think the Luffy is good to be honest, but maybe in some matchups, I don't know. So round 4 for Kagara, luckily I won the dice roll there, which really helps. I got to go first, so stealing his first curve, and slowly but surely won. Important cards for this matchup are Vergo. Vergo is really important to remove this card. This is the most annoying card I ever saw in my life. And you need to understand how to control the board and the life at the same time, like pushing for life to get Kagara into a position where Kagara is really don't want to activate the leader ability and go for board if you see low on hands. So yeah, I won there because of 10-cost Doffy, because I think I got a solid curve and knew how certain stuff works. Also an important thing with Viper is your 1-cost Dellinger. Dellinger ramp on KO, so if you play against yellow decks that can play Viper, just play off the Dellinger on 2 or 4 or whatever and don't redirect until Viper comes, or the game state is so good that you can simply redirect into it, because Dellinger protects you kinda because you get the free ramp and the free search without even need to redirect your attack. So round 5, going to this later, Purple Enel. Pretty standard list, and last but not least, whoops, this was my list. This was the Lucy list, really interesting. I really like it when I first see it 4 times the event. Not playing the 2K Zabo, thinking like Cavendish or nothing. Yeah, sorry for the break, but we're gonna look the Lucci match anyway. So this is my deck list. Whoops, wait a second. No, yeah. Dofflamingo leader for Sugar for Dellinger should be mandatory. The Giola, it's simply says it's a 2K. Usuashi, really important for Emu. I expected way more Emus, to be honest. For Baby 5, only 2 Sugars. Why this? Because I think Baby 5 is simply better against Enel and Lucci and Nami and Boa. That's the reason. And even against yellow decks, Sugar is solvable because of the Viper I already explained. So that's why I play 4 Baby 5s and 2 Sugar. Maybe I thought of even cutting 1 Sugar, so let's see. For Vergos, should be non-explanatory. For Monet, the same to Wozy. I still really like Wozy because I play the new events. It's really great. 2K money, so I play 3 Don Quixote 2Ks. I like to play more than enough 2Ks. Maybe I cut 1 2K for the third Divine Departure, since Divine Departure is kinda important in the inner matchup. And the Lucci matchup, it's depending on the game set, but this can be really strong if you struggle to seal your 10 drops. But I need to test it. So in theory, the Divine Departure should be good against Lucy if you bait them to block with it and then run over it. They either have to trash a lot of cards, and then you can even, if you have it, you can even punish them with Lightning Dragon, which is a combo I really like. I'm gonna over that in a minute. To 6 cost Wozy, I probably would cut it to 1, but I'm not sure. The Wozy is good against Enel, in my opinion. Even if you don't cut the search, you can block and redirect 1 attack, so you simply get 1 2K every turn against Enel, which is really important since the matches go for a long time, since you want to starve them out a little bit. For 8 cost Dofis, should be non-explanatory. 2 10 costs. I kinda want to play 3, but I also not want to play too many non-counters, so I'm gonna test 1 Wozy Law and 3 10 costs in the future. You have to see how it's for you. I just a really big fan from the 6 cost Wozy Law, because you can do so many nice things with it. It gives you protection, it gives you a free cards in hand, it ramps. And a lot of times I like it because you go on 9 dons, they think, okay, no 10 cost, everything is fine, and then you play the Wozy, then you play your baby 5, and then they can't kill you anymore, even if you don't have the 10 cost. But yeah. 3 Divine Departure, already explained, really great card. 3 slow beam. You can play 4. I like more 3 slow beam and 1 bullet swing, because the bullet swing is searchable, but I'm unsure. I didn't like the bullet swing actually won me the game against the Kagara, but I see why people cut it, but in my opinion it's too strong to cut it, because it's a searchable 1 turn survivor. Then the 2 new events. We have Mama Gan, effect on -2 was opponent's character with 5k or less, and draw 1 card, counter 1k counter, and if you have 6 or less stuns, draw a card. Lightning Dragon on -1, freeze a 6k or lower character, and draw a card for 0 dons, both really strong. Also it synergizes well with Divine Departure and the Werewolf, because they are not going on base power, so you can, for example, against Enel or Zabo or Lucci, how you want to call it, Divine Departure, their big blocker, and then Mamagan it to rest them, or if they already are rested. Sometimes, for example, against Lucci, you go with 8 into life, and you have a Wozy and a leader attack still, and they have really big hand size. You Divine Departure the Zabo, and sometimes they think him on protecting the Zabo, because then your turn would be non-existing, but then you can simply Lightning Drain the 7 cost Zabo or the 6 cost blocker, and you simply hard punishes the opponent for trying to defend his big body and simply destroying the boss the next turn. So that's for the deck. Now we come for the games. So the first game I want to show you was against Purple Doflamingo. I don't know if you also hear the voice. Let me check for a second. So when they have something interesting to say, I'm gonna show you, but here, sorry, I think it was a bit too quickly. So yeah, normal turns, you play one course, I search with the sugar. Oh yeah, important thing here, I was on one done turn and simply passed without playing the one course sugar. It's simply because my opponent could destroy my one course sugar for free with the event. So if you are wondering against Ine and have the one course sugar, don't play it. If you have Dellinger, please play it, because if they destroy it, you win for free. And if they attack with your Den, and understand for the matchup, your Dellinger is really important to clear the small bodies, so don't redirect directly into your Dellinger, just if you are desperate for viable targets you want to see on curve. Here I was thinking either the 5 cost Vergo or the 8 cost Doffy. Both are viable. The problem is, if I pick the 8 cost Doffy, I need to draw into the 5 cost. If I pick the 5 cost Vergo, I need to draw into the 8 cost. The thing is, of course, if you pick the 8 cost Doffy, you have more 5 cost, but the Vergo is way more important in the matchup, and I also have the blocker here. So I really need the Vergo to deal with the 6 cost drops, which come really quickly, to deal with them really quickly, and whipping out a lot of cards in the hand, because as you see, I didn't attack. I kinda want to start my opponent and then go with Vergo and 8 cost and so on into the big bodies, whipping some cards in hand, then go for life, then drop the 10 cost, and then go for game, guaranteed the turn after that. That's simplify the game against Ine. If you have the Monet on board, you can even double 10 cost if you have it, so that would be a reason why you want to play 3 10 cost, but I decided to value the blocker more, because more important into Boa and Nami. So here I play out the 5 cost Vergo, not the Monet, of that value reason. Here I was a little bit nervous. I prayed that he forget about Rosy Law and pass with 6. And here is an interesting thing. I thought on redirecting into the Vergo, you could for free, then on 6, then ramp with the Rosy Law. But if my opponent activates the event and is on 5 done, I'm still at 6, and then I have 1 done less than I wanted to. So I decided not to redirect, to have more cards in hand to protect my Vergo. I am healthy on life, and even in this game state, the blocker hard punishes game's plan. That way I cover both sides. Of course, it would if is an aftermath, it would be better to redirect, but when my opponent would play another event so to get to 5, I think I would have played the 6 cost Law. So I think it's a fine move, but both is correct. So now a lot of 1 cost comes down with 1 rusher, and here we see why the blocker is so important in the matchup. Yeah, here was a little misplay by me, maybe, I don't know. Gonna swing with the rush, 1 cost. So here I need to 1 case to actually protect the life. And here I protect it because if you swing with the 10 cost, I can simply redirect into life and I'm healthy again, which will also happen. I have now 2 baby 5s. I can simply play out baby 5 and Virgo and pass if I want to. 5 into life. Why I go 5 into life here? Because I'm almost certain that my opponent will counter that, because on 2 life they kinda get nervous. And to see if they have... No, I also wanted to bait out the Magma Gun, because the card, you want to hold that card for the late game, normally in NL, but sometimes people get too excited on a 5 cost swing, you can counter out for free and get the draw. But sadly he simply won't case it only. Now here, of course, life dropped another 6 cost, which means I don't have to fear much big drops, so I can simply block this here. If I want, I can counter out the 6k or 5k swing even. Maybe I should 2k here, but I'm low on counter, so I decided to not to. Yes. Now he attack 3 into this. Why did I let it die? Because now I can redirect into life and have 1 more Dawn open. I could protect here, drop the 10 cost. That is a play I maybe should have done. I'm not sure. But I thought I wanted to whip the hand a bit more. And the problem is, yes, I have 1 10 cost more on board. But the problem is the inner player also has 3 more attacks, which isn't great for me. So I rather played at the end game when I almost certain, okay, either I lose my board, the entire board the next turn, or not. Then I play the 10 cost, or I know, okay, I can guarantee for game here. Yeah. So here they're talking about... Whoops. Sorry. My hands crumpled. So here is the question, what I do? I can play out the 5 cost and simply pass. Do I want to go for board? Do I want to go for life? I want to bait out as many cards in hand as possible, so we swing 10 into 8. So we bait out 2k, 1k, and then can go 10 into 6 to guarantee that it leaves the board, and even better 2k, 1k. So yeah, here maybe I should attack with the blocker, but it didn't feel too rewarding with so many cards in hand, and I'm not so much counter in hand, so I decided not to. The thing is, if you would defend, maybe, but yeah, maybe I just thinking if the inner player would defend this 6 cost here with a 10k, I could simply punish it with the Lightning Dragon. So could I go for face the turn after, the turn before? Yes, so that's what they discussed. Yes, I could, but then there would be 6 cost more on the field, and I'm not in a position where I could protect as much of my field as I want to. But yeah, maybe it would be the correct way. I don't know. I like to play it more slowly and more on board, but it could have been the play here. I also would be more healthy on my dons. But in my opinion, my game stick got better here because only 6 cards in hand, 2 6 costs. I still have my 2 Legos in my blocker. I had 9. I don't care too much as I can play the 10 cost here, because I can play out another Virgo, I can play out the 1 cost, I could still go for the board a little bit, but I think this turn I wanted to set up the setup turn, if that makes sense, to set up the 10 drop turn and simply bait out a block and attack, whatever. I thought of maybe just playing Monet into the Virgo and then pass. And attack, of course, but I didn't like it too much because then I would be too dependent on seeing another 10 cost. So what I at the end decided to do was swing with 7, 3 block. Here I thought, should I Divine Departure here? Here I thought for a moment if I should Divine Departure, but I decided against it because I needed in the worst case to counter if he tries to go full on board. So I can simply counter out 1 or 2 attacks and stay healthy on counter. But I'm in a really, really good place here. So Divine Departure here I was happy because the only thing the inner gonna do in this game set is simply destroy 1 Virgo, the other one she don't gonna get. I'm gonna say it like that. If you had the leader here, I'm gonna slow beam and redirect. So here, of course, he doesn't want to destroy my Dedinger. I hope at least he doesn't want to destroy it, because I then ramp and search for free and can still redirect. But yeah, I get the search. 1 cost sugar. 10 on the Virgo. I think I'm gonna block slow beam or slow beam 2k. Yeah, block. Slow beam the 10 cost and then 1k. Only 4 cards left in hand. He can't go for game because I kept my Divine Departure. People underestimate how much pressure they can do with the little 1 cost. But they also wasted a lot of their push events, which in my opinion want to help till the end to push for big swings in the matchup. 7 into life. but I can freely take. I get the slow beam, which is solid because that means if I want to, I can survive even another turn, but I don't think another turn will come. So 5 life, 7 life, 7 life, 8 life, I can't die, 10 cost, no whiz, no life, blocker, and yeah, 6 for life I take because if I get Mama Gun it's even better, but I'm already guaranteed win. I have enough counter, I didn't waste my Divine Departure. So yeah, no, 5, whatever, a counter. And then we have mathematically lethal. We have the blocker, but 999, and the thing is here, even if they somehow would have enough counter, they need to block and let the one blocker go. Then I could have played the baby 5, would have the slow beam, and everything would be fine for me because then it turned out that they're not gonna survive. But they didn't survive that turn anyway, so that's why I play it like that, to be guaranteed, because people underestimate how much counter they can have with all the events, and Mama Guns is like a free 1k. Yeah. So here, so that's the final. Here was a little bit confusion because my PC is really loud and who decides to swim. That's why the game starts a little bit weird decision. Here I attack with 5 first. So if he triggers the event that the loot she triggers, I don't lose my baby 5. And yeah, so that way I can protect my baby 5, which is really important in the late game of the matchup. Sadly, I didn't search a Vago here, which is really bad, because if I don't see a Vago, I can't protect my baby 5. And the Vago is important to pressure the 7 cost. So here I simply pass. Play out the Cavendish. Of course, perfect start for him. Going first, having the Cavendish, and so on. 5 into life, take 5 into life again. That's what also rough, that I didn't have anything here to play, but that's sometimes the game. The last game I had a lot of stuff. Here I don't have much research. So here I was happy that I actually discard event for no reason, because no matter what I would take here the 8, because I have the baby 5. I need to find the Vago. Of course you don't know if I need to find the Vago, but still I want to take, because even if it double attacks again next turn, even if I at 0 life, I have my baby 5, I have events, I have high hand cards, I have a redirect. So I'm pretty confident to not lose here. Here you want to drop this 10 cost into 10 cost most of the times that I didn't have another 10 cost. Good, yeah, 5, 6. Counter here. This was, I didn't expect this. So this was really great with the Fire Fist. I thought for a moment, yeah, okay, sure, 7 cost event, the 10 cost, just so I don't attack, but then the 2 cost event simply do strong. No, I don't have a field. I need to top deck another 10 cost here to survive, or have Doffy into Vago play. These would be the 2 places where I could to recreate a good game state for myself. But sadly I didn't saw either of it. I saw an 8 cost Doffy, but sadly no Verbo, so no matter what I play, it will get destroyed, bottom deck, whatever. I simply hope that you do not have the event another time, because you already triggered one, or for some reason play. So yeah, so here even the 7 cost, 9 into lead, because why not? 2 into the 1 cost, 7. Yes, and now pop it, and I couldn't protect it. Really sad everything, really sad. Yeah, here, if I have here a 10 cost, would be also great, but still not my 10 cost. And still no Verbo, but I did here and there a little misplay, I think. So 9 to 6. He had Rebecca blocker. I didn't have the mama gun to deal with that either, which was also unfortunate. And yeah, so 7. I need to took a 1k. 9. Here is a misplay on my part. I should redirect this attack. I simply should redirect this attack. Why? Because I need to bait him, and if I saw why didn't I redirect? I saw my counters, and I couldn't have survived the next turn. Because I don't know the amount of events in his hand, but when I checked the graveyard, I should have realized that there shouldn't be too many events left, and it would be really important to actually not have the 1 cost Rebecca, and if you play out the 1 cost Rebecca anyways, you can't swing over 9, so whatever. So that was a misplay on my part, so it's totally fine that I lost here. Sorry that I spoiled, but yeah, of course I lost finals in that second, yeah. So yeah, of course, then if Lucy has their hands, they have it, because they go to the entire deck here. 5 into lead. The tankers comes sadly a bit too late. Freeze here, try to go for game the next turn to have some kind of survival. What I needed here was the Divine Departure with Magma Gun to rest one of the 7 cost blocker. Oh, Magma Gun is but yeah, here also really important that he blocks here, because if you won't block, I have Mama Gun here, but I decided not to use it. I don't know why, to be honest, because then he would have 1 block less, but look at the hand side, I need to survive 1 more turn. So here again, 5 gets rested, whatever, simply to troll. Then here play out the the 6 cost here. Yeah, I wanted to calculate, because if I didn't waste my baby 5, would I have had more chance to actually survive. So if I don't have the baby 5, of course he wouldn't play out the Watcher here. He would try to go, probably could go 11, 4, 9, Now here. Could go like 9, 9, 11, 11 or something like that. So we would attack with 9 Zabo first. I could counter that one out, and yeah, it was a misplay because I could have survived the turn. Because he needed to swing. If he swing too big, I can always simply redirect. If he swing too low, I can simply west 2 blockers. The question is, will I get through? But he had 1, 2, 3 bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4 2Ks. No, never would he survive. Need to go for game here. So that was a misplay on my part, not to save the baby 5. The problem here, of course, if I play the baby 5, he would have the event anyways. It's another problem. But then I don't know if the dons are enough. But then I wouldn't have the blocker. At 5, 9, west. Nah, then it would be game anyway, so yeah, whatever. I would have lost anyway, but maybe it would be better to play out the baby 5 and hope for the best. Maybe even top check into anything. And hope that he doesn't have another removal. Which is pretty unlikely because the decks play a lot of removal, so yeah. One Vero would be really nice, but it is what it is. I also got kind of surprised by the 10 cost here. But whatever. So we redirect into the blocker. Let it die. So I simply hope that he attacks 5 with leader or something. That would be really nice, but sadly now 9, 9, 6 and then everything on leader. And that was really nice because I calculate I lose 2 dons with redirect and the event, so I'm a 6 and get the draw from Mamagan. 2k. But sadly he has enough events in the hand. 3 event cards in hand and I can't counter out 8. I can only counter out 6. Yeah, so pretty tough, but still a nice performance. Again, here is my deck list if you want to copy. If you have a question, I'm gonna upload an updated guide in the next few days and maybe upload more videos if these videos get a lot of clicks. Sadly, what I notice is if I made content about when a rogue deck is get way more viewers than when I actually play a deck that's meta relevant, but let's see what will happen. So please let me know if you have any question or whatsoever. And yeah, 45-minute video for a simple tournament recap. Sorry, I try in the future. I try to be quicker with my videos, but it should be good information. And if you could handle my voice and so on till this point, congratulations, and I wish you a really nice day. Bye.